So the main concern in the book is that government policy restricts access to housing. How does eminent domain contribute to that problem?
Well, it restricts housing development because so often the case is that a neighborhood will be destroyed to make way for all kinds of development that aren't necessarily housing. I talk in my book about people that talk about it's kind of a morbid humor that if you want to find if future archaeologists a century or two from now are looking for where there used to be minority neighborhoods in our urban areas, you just look underneath the freeway because so often the freeways went directly through minority neighborhoods and left the upper class and whiter neighborhoods alone. Same thing for redevelopment in urban neighborhoods. More often than not, it took property of minority populations, which was often run down, but they're often vibrant neighborhoods, and they're turned into office complexes, hotels, convention centers, all kinds of things without enough housing being built. Look, the first major redevelopment case that got up to the Supreme Court was a case called Berman versus Parker. That was the destruction of a working class mixed race neighborhood in Washington, D.C., and it was raised to make way for a redevelopment project. Housing was promised to be part of that, but as it turned out, only a small fraction of the people who lived there actually had housing built that they could live in and that they could afford. Most of the redevelopment project went to hotels, conventions, and that kind of thing. At the Supreme Court, however, Justice Douglas, writing for the majority, said, look, if the city of Washington, D.C. wants to ensure that a neighborhood is sanitary as well as aesthetically nice, there's nothing that a court could or should do to stand in the way. And that basically left open cities across the country to raise their poorer neighborhoods, their working class, mixed race neighborhoods, to make way for urban redevelopment, which often left poor people out with no place to live. In fact, James Baldwin, a Black intellectual of the 1960s, famously said that, urban redevelopment is nothing but moving Negroes out. He called it a Negro exclusion policy.